Hi everyone, this is Jess, aka Sketchwriter Jess. Today I'm doing a pick a card reading for you. I'm thinking this is for soulmates and twin flames. I believe that if twin flames do get together, at some point, like if it's really going to be a relationship, it's a soulmate. They end up being soulmates. So this is really for everybody. It's for all sex relation, all, same sex, heterosexual, doesn't matter. It's for everybody. So this is how to be vulnerable to the one that you are into, like how to open yourself up to somebody. What's the best way? What are the things to keep in mind? So each spread has an emotional part, a logical part, an intuitive part, and family wisdom. So they're relatively short spreads. What I do is I give like a little wrap up at the end of each one. Most of the spreads I do post the blog post form. Sometimes I just forget. But at some point I will catch up with all of them. So my phone keeps falling. Okay, so now I'm going to start shuffling. Give it one shuffle and then ask the questions specifically a better way than I did. Spirit and Spirit Guide Lauren, Angels, Uriel. What is the best way to be vulnerable, to attract the partner of our dreams? So this is all about manifesting here. I thought it was going to be more about like if you're actually in a relationship. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. If you're actually in a relationship. But this is really for people who maybe just came out of a relationship, or they're separated from somebody and they're thinking, well, I don't know what I want to do. I just need to think the next move. So that's what I'm gonna give you. Think of the next move. Also, if major arcanas come up, I clarify them. And what I do is I keep pulling, and if there's major arcanas, I just keep pulling and pulling until I get a number card from the suits. So that's how that works. And the numbers kind of add the flavor, I guess you could say. It adds the part of the story that is missing. I also use Cosmic Tarot deck for the main reading, and I use the Notes from the Universe as part of the reading. So you get 3 piles to choose from. That one of them fell. And I also have citrine crystals. Really good for creativity, and when it comes to manifesting, you want to have as much creativity as possible. So that's what I think. So I'll set up the piles, and then you can choose, and then you'll see a video that goes to each pile. So you can pick one or as many as you want, since this is about manifesting. You can use everything I say here It's not like some of my other readings, which are a little more specific. So, we'll get started. Also, I forgot the Notes from the Universe card. So then we will get started after I pull these. I guess someone out there needs things to go wrong. I don't know. I'm being vulnerable right now. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, now we will get started. Hi, everyone. These are the piles. The first one says keep it simple. The second one says karma is on your side. The third one says love is the reason. And they've all got citrine on them. As you can see, all the stones are different colors, but they're all similar. Citrine is really good for creativity, and I thought for manifesting this is perfect. So pick a pile and then come on back to see what the reveals are. Okay, guys, this is pile 1. Gonna reveal it now. So we have keep it simple. I'll reveal that one first. Old souls use words very sparingly, except of course for I, love, thank, you, wow, now, and cool. Wow, I love you now, the universe. P.S., which sounds much better than wow, now I love you. Sequence is important. Okay, so that's the family wisdom there. And that goes in the center. And then we've got the emotion, the logic, and the intuition back here. So for emotion, we have 10 of Wands. That does not need a clarifier. For the logic, we have King of Swords reversed, so that one does need a clarifier. And for the back, we have 5 of Swords reversed, so that one does not need a clarifier. I will be back with the clarifier. Hi guys, here is pile 1's clarifiers, and I'll reveal them to you on camera here. My camera keeps falling. My phone keeps falling. It's not really a camera. Okay, so what we're doing is we're clarifying the King of Wands. It's got the 6 of Pentacles, so that is it for that, and I'll be back with your reading. Hi everyone who chose pile 1. This is your reading for vulnerability in relationships. Your emotion says you feel oppressed by someone you love and are ready to move on to loving someone new. Your logic says you've been stubborn about your intentions that you want in a new relationship. You have expectations that you will be presented with someone from the universe who can make you feel gratitude for loving someone. Your intuition says you've lost love because you set boundaries with your partner and they left. You know you have a fresh start on your own. Your family wisdom says use your words carefully. Fully trust someone before you reveal how you feel about them. I say, if you set boundaries and lose love as a result, then you have a better chance for new love. So, what I wrote, the message I got from the intuition, from the logic, is that you, and I guess combination with the intuition, you've set boundaries. However, I think that seems like you may have set boundaries that are so tight and so high that perhaps you're not being vulnerable. You're not allowing enough of yourself to show. However, that's not to say you should totally put yourself out there to the point where you're going to get stepped on. I mean, obviously, whatever you were going through with this other person, it must have been really horrible. You can see this person is just absolutely trying to figure out how to get out of the entanglement. And, you know, you might have been with somebody who was just kind of somebody you were locking horns with, so to speak. You know, they're just being argumentative and just putting you down. And maybe it's possible you, like, put yourself out there too early. You put everything out there too early. You didn't wait long enough to reveal yourself to them. But the good news that happened with that was that you could see how they really were. But you don't want to go through that again. So, when it comes to setting boundaries, definitely have some clear boundaries, but make sure that they are things that are not too rigid, you know? Like if you have like a definite way the guy has to look, right? He has to be a certain height. He has to have certain kind of hair. All sorts of things. If you put all those expectations on it, that's going to narrow it down to the point that, you know, you're never going to feel like you can find someone again. It's understandable if you went through a really bad relationship and you really are having a fresh start and you're feeling like, here, I'll bring this down. You're feeling like you are ready to have something that you want, that you truly want. You don't want the first guy that comes and gets you. And that's understandable. However, if you have too many expectations, then you won't be able to attract somebody who can give you the best love that they have to offer. Thing you need to keep in mind is you need to think about like the things that have to do with actually being thankful. You know, things that involve gratitude. Maybe think about someone, you have your boundaries up of like, well, they can't hurt me in this way, they can't abuse me, they can't, there's certain things I just won't tolerate. And then you have your gratitude, like you kind of write down a list of the things that a relationship would make you grateful for. I mean, you have to think about what you want from the relationship. You have to think about what you want from your lover. And, you know, height and build and all that, I mean, that's one thing, but I think you close yourself off from potential people, potential souls, if you do that. And it definitely seems like you're looking for a masculine energy here. We have the two men here. So, you know, when it comes to that, you know, think deeply about how you want the men in your relationship to be. What can they give you? And also, what can you give them? You know, if you're somebody who's set boundaries, you may almost be skittish about being with somebody new. So it may take a while. You may have to just take a step back and not jump in right away. But when you're ready, you know, think about reliability. We've got the Pentacles here. Thinking about reliability, about gifts, about, you know, what you can give to somebody and what they can give back to you. There's nothing wrong with thinking about what the person gives to you. However, in being vulnerable, you kind of have to ask them to give things to you. You know, because a lot of men, you know, they want to be able, well, I'll say masculines. A lot of masculines want to feel like they can give you the world. They want to be able to give you everything. At least the really good ones do. And so I think you have to kind of allow that a little bit at a time instead of letting it all happen at once. Because if it all happens at once, you may end up in this situation again where you're entangled with somebody and they got total control over you and you don't have your boundaries up. And it sucks to have to go through something like that to figure out what your boundaries are. But I think once you figure that out and you think of, like, how can the guy give me the world, right? How can a guy give me the world? You think of that. You think, what would that feel like to have somebody give me the world? And then you just start writing it down. Sorry, my camera shut off there. You just start writing down everything that you feel a guy could give you. I mean, if I think about things that a guy could give me, I think of, I don't know, sometimes I think of gifts. Like in this case, you know, you may want to think of gifts. Like what kind of actual physical gifts can he give you? You know, like if I was thinking of my guy, I don't know, I would love it if he bought me something from Etsy, like a mug or something like that. Something that really summed up who I was. You know, since working is a big deal to me. So, and I work at home, I'm self-employed. So like if he really respected that, and he bought me a mug that kind of summed up that, and he was like, and I'll keep going, I'll keep you going, I'll help support you in this, then that would be a really nice way for him to give me something. It is like giving me the world, because it's like he's saying, you have the world in your hands right now, and I'm helping you with that. I'm helping support you with that. And you know, men like to support women, I think. The really good ones, they like to support women in whatever they're doing, because it comes back to them too, you know. And so yeah, I say this is definitely a communication thing that you have to work on. I'm sorry that you went through whatever this is. This is terrible. I've been in situations like that. I had friendships that were like that. I haven't really been in any anything with men that had to do with this, but yeah, sometimes even friendships can turn sour, but I don't think that's what this is. This is a love reading. So, yeah, I mean, just think of those things. Think of the way he can support you. And just start thinking of those things and start visualizing, telling him how much his support means to you. And then, you know, once you do that, you do that with all sorts of things. I mean, not only how he can give things to you, like actual gifts, but like what the gifts mean. And in this case, what I'm finding is the person that you're seeking is something who believes in gift giving. We've got these pentacles here. They may not really know how to communicate with you either. With these swords down, they may have a hard time, like, kind of releasing what they need to release. Like, even though they're reversed, you know, they may not cut you off or anything, but, I don't know, they may kind of, like, feel like, they could let you walk all over them. So, I mean, you have to be really careful with that. You have to be really careful with that. You know, use your words wisely. Don't be too skittish. Don't be overbearing, like, you know, you got to hit this guy over the head with these boundaries. I think, you know, you learned about boundaries through the bad relationship, and now you're going to learn about healthier boundaries, I think. But you're going to learn more about setting healthy boundaries and also opening yourself up to somebody who truly wants to be with you. And, you know, you can't take advantage of that. Instead of taking advantage, you just have to kind of bask in the light that comes from it. Because you're special, you know, you have everything you need, but you also deserve to have more. You deserve to have the best things. You know, anything you can set your mind to, anything that makes you feel better. Nothing like having somebody in your corner to support you and cheer you on. Whether that's friends or lovers. And if your lover is a friend, you know, that's really great, because then it's like you have a bond that way too. But I think that's it for this. So I'm Sketchwriter Jess on Instagram. I have a blog, sketchwriterjess.com, and I will probably have this one up on the blog. It's not as specific as the other one, and it's more general. So I will post it sometime this week. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Bye. Hello everyone who picked pile 2. Welcome back. I'm going to reveal the cards now. So this is the Family Wisdom card. Karma is on your side. If you could read all the minds that I read, hear all the prayers that I hear, and beat all the hearts that I beat, I wonder if you'd even believe how often you're thought of, talked about, and fallen in love with. It's payback time. Andale, andale, the universe. Okay. Now we've got our emotion. We have strength. That's major arcana, so that's got to be clarified. Next one we have justice reversed. It's also major arcana, and that has to be clarified. Then the last one we have is Six of Wands for intuition. Yeah, the justice, this reversed one is for intuition. So I will be back with the clarifications. Alright, everyone who chose pile 2, I'm going to clarify the strength card and the justice card. Strength card is for the emotion. Okay, Four of Cups reversed. So that one no longer needs clarification. The Emperor. That's got to be pulled, got to get more pulled until we hit a number card. Two of Cups reversed. Okay, I will be back with your reading. Hi pile 2, this is your reading. Your emotion says it's time to take action and meet a new person to fall in love with. You are open to receiving new love. Your logic says you need to be stable in your emotions and protect yourself, that you don't want any misunderstanding from your partner, and that you aren't into fooling around. Even though you are open to someone you like who is special to you, you don't want them to influence you into doing something that goes against your boundaries. Your intuition says you want this new love to be a victory. You want this person to tell you what you want to hear. Family wisdom says you deserve the best love because you have so much good to offer to someone special. I say go with your intuition. If someone is telling you everything you want to hear, make sure they're telling the truth. So, what it feels like to me is that you're somebody who has your shit together. Like, you know what you want, you know what you're looking for in somebody, very strong person. I mean, we got the strength card here, but look at her. She's absolutely like I'm gonna eat you for breakfast. She knows what she wants. Yeah, so you know what you want. And however, I see here, yeah, justice is reversed, and we got the Two of Cups reversed. I'm thinking, even though you're strong, You know you're open to something new. I get the feeling that you still don't want to be too vulnerable. You're still trying to be the ultimate strong feminine person. And I think you're looking for a man who can support you in that effort. I feel like, you know, with the intuition here, you know, you want to hear good news. You want to make sure this person is telling you what you need to hear. Not just what you want, but what you need to hear. And if they aren't able to follow through on that, if they're like being deceitful or something like that, then I think you need to talk to them and, you know, ask them what's going on. I feel like, here, I'm going to move this down here. I'm going to put all these together. Get my book back. I feel like with this, you're in a space where, you know, you want to protect yourself. You want to make sure that you don't get hurt again. In fact, I think you're like the one who wants to do the hurting if it happens. Like if you have to do the hurting, you're the one who wants to leave. You're the one who wants to make sure you make the rules of the relationship. But here you've got the Emperor, and he's a strong guy too. And he's hard to dominate. I mean, he really is a force to be reckoned with. So, you know, if he's very influential in how, like, he could get you to think, he could get you to decide to do things that are not in your best interest. You know, just because somebody's in power doesn't mean that they're going to be good with it. You know, I mean, the Emperor is good, usually. He is upright, so it looks like he is pretty good, but he is a very dominant person. So, I would say just make sure that the person you're with tells you exactly what you need to hear and what you want to hear. And if they're not doing either of those things, then you need to talk to them. If they can't tell you the truth, then I would suggest just breaking it off. There's no reason to stick with somebody who's gonna be screwy. You know, there's no reason for that. You know, you just wait. You have so much confidence. You know, fall for somebody who equals you in confidence. Someone who's confident, not conceited. This guy, you know, if he's wanting to fool around, he could be kind of conceited. He could think he's the hot stuff, you know. And, yeah, like, you have to make sure he really is the hot stuff. That he is what he says he is. He's true and faithful. And if he's not, then gotta get him out of here. You deserve better. You deserve somebody who's faithful to you. And, you know, if you end up, like, you're the one who's the third party and you find out you're, like, he's fooling around with you and he has somebody, then definitely break it off, because he's never going to leave the other person for you. I mean, if he's still in a relationship with somebody and he's dating you, he's going to go back to that person anyways, and you don't deserve that. You've come too far to experience that kind of thing. So, that's what I'm seeing here. Hopefully, you know, like, I guess in terms of manifesting, if you want to be vulnerable, I would say perhaps think of what you want him to tell you. Like, what are the things you want him to tell you? Visualize him telling you those things, and then you visualize yourself responding to him. And, like, making sure he knows that you accept what he's saying. you know, imagine the best, right? Imagine the best. And if it's not working, then, you know, you need to like imagine it and then compare it to what's going on. That's not to say you need to do like pie in the sky or anything like that. It's more like you need to make sure, like, if you want him to tell you, oh, I'm gonna take you out to dinner and, you know, we'll just discuss something, you know, that we've been wanting to discuss for a while. You know, I'll spend all the time with you and I won't be focused on other stuff. Like, let's say he's somebody who sits there on his phone while you're eating dinner or something, right? So, you know, like if he says, I promise, I'll put the phone away, I won't have it out here. And then like he starts with the phone and you're like, what the hell is going on now? You know, is he texting somebody else? Is he, what's going on here? You know, if what he's saying isn't matching up with what you want him to say, you know, with what you need from him, then, you know, you need to start going, okay, you know, maybe this is not the right thing for me. Maybe this is not what I was wanting to get from a relationship, and it's not worth the heartache that'll come just from being the other woman. That's what I see here. I see a very confident woman going into a situation where she's going to be on the side. And it's just not a good situation. Your intuition is saying you want victory. And so, you know, if this is not victory for you, if this feels like, you know, the sky is just not working for you, then honor yourself and say, I'm out of here, I'm not dealing with this stuff. So, that's what I have for you. I'm Sketchwriter Jess on Instagram, and my blog is sketchwriterjess.com. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of these videos, hit subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. I'm going to reveal the cards for you. Love is the reason. That's the family wisdom. Each person in your life is there for a reason, and that reason always has something to do with love. Like me, the universe. Okay, here we're laying out the cards for the spread. For the emotion, we have the Tower, so that one will be clarified. For the logic, we have the Queen of Wands. That will be clarified. And for the intuition, we have Prince of Pentacles. That will be clarified as well. I'll be back with your clarifications. Hi, Pile 3. My phone just fell down. Okay. I'm going to clarify your emotions, your logic, and your intuition. Now I'll reveal them here. Princess of Swords. Reversed. Gotta clarify some more. Okay. First one that was on the ground was this Two of Swords. Whoopsies. Two of Swords. So that is the clarifying suit card for everything. Next. Nine of Swords reversed. So that's the clarifier for Queen of Wands. Temperance for the intuition, so we still have more to clarify. Eight of Cups. So that is the clarifying card for those cards. Okay, I'll be back with your reading. Hi everyone who picked pile 3. Here's your reading. Your emotion says you are in distress over the last relationship you were in. You feel like loving someone has ruined you. Your logic says you have been in a relationship where you didn't know how to stand up for yourself when someone deceived you in some way. You are honest and loving and are wondering why someone thought they could push you around. Your intuition says you don't want to deal with someone too thoughtless and careless again. You were so afraid to stand up for yourself, you felt like you allowed him to treat you poorly like you asked for it. Family wisdom says people come into your life to teach you about love, even self-love. I say you need to set boundaries about what you fear will be taken away from you. How does one stop feeling unworthy of being loved? I had to put a question mark. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So, I feel like what we've got here is somebody... You've been someone who has been very trusting of people. Perhaps you've said things to someone that you probably shouldn't have let them know so soon. And that happens, I think, when people get into like a first love situation. You know, they find someone and they feel like, oh, you know, like this is the best love ever and I just gotta let everything out now, or else, you know, like it'll never happen, never blossom. And I think that's one of those things that people get hung up on. They think they need to let everything out on the table. They need to put everything out on the table. And I think you know that that's not really the best way to go. So that was the Tower moment here. I'm sorry I had those. That was the Tower moment. You knew that, you know, somehow you just let somebody in that was really destructive. And you had to figure out what to do. So I think you're still hanging on to it. I feel like with this Two of Swords here, you could still be hanging on to it, thinking that there's some kind of friendship there, that, you know, maybe it was even a love, friendship that you wanted to become a love and it didn't really become a love. Either that, or it became a love and the person just became different when you started loving him or her. Logic says that, let me see my book again. I always think I'm going to be able to do it without my book. Here. You didn't know how to stand up for yourself. You're honorable and you're loving, and you didn't know what to do. You felt like you'd been totally honest with this person, and it freaked you out that they started treating you bad. And you thought, well, what can I do to make this go away? What can I do to make this better? Because I think what happened with you is you probably wanted a relationship with somebody and then it turned real sour real quick. And you just were like, okay, I'll get out of it. I'll figure it out. Your intuition knew that this person was really careless and thoughtless. I think even as a friend, you knew that they were. But you didn't want that. You didn't want to see that. You're very trusting, very open. You almost feel like because you were friends that you asked for it. You know, like, well, we're friends, and so You know, I'm here for them, and, you know, they can do whatever they want. They can treat me any way they want because I'm always here for them. And I think you realize that that's not right. And, you know, with the family wisdom, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of times, it's all about teaching you how to love. And sometimes really bad friendships, really bad relationships, that's what their purpose is. It's better to think of them as a purpose than think of them as an actual experience. Like, it's better to just think, you know, this was here to teach me something, and I can just decide to move on from it. I can stick it in my hat and say, I did it. I tried. I tried to be with somebody or this person and it didn't work, and so it's okay because I can go be with somebody else. What I recommend is, if you're friends with somebody and you flirt with them, and you're flirting and they don't really respond in the way you're expecting, you know, like, you could be somebody who's like pining for somebody and you tell them and they take advantage of you in some way. And you're realizing that that's not good. So you need to set boundaries and say, if I'm friends with somebody and we decide to have a relationship, then these are the things that I absolutely cannot tolerate, and these are the only things that I will allow. And one thing you probably need to do is figure out how to talk to somebody. You know, like how to discuss things with people without lowering your boundaries to the point that somebody takes advantage of you. You know, you are this honorable person here. You don't need somebody to approve you. You don't need somebody to tell you, hey, you know, you're my best friend, and so I'm going to trust you to be this way with me, when it's something you may not want to do. Or it's something you wanted to do, but it wasn't what you expected it would be or what you wanted it to be. I think that in order to manifest another person, like a new relationship, I would say visualizing like how the person would be your friend, like the things that they would do for you that would show you that they are a true friend, things they would tell you. With the swords here, I'm thinking communication. So, you know, what would the person tell you? You know, and you may need somebody who's got some emotional chops. You know, they got to be able to have some emotions and deal with their emotions properly. So you need somebody who's got good emotions, good communication, because that's what you deserve. You're honest and you're a loving person, and you know, you're forthright with words, and you're also very deep. You love deeply. You love passionately. At the wands here, there's like passion. Really, you just need to find that inner queen in yourself and say, I deserve to be treated in this way and this way, and I don't deserve to be treated like this. Didn't ask for a damn thing. I did not ask for somebody to treat me like this. And so you need to set those boundaries and like visualize yourself talking to this person and having this person let you know what they can do for you, and also like what you can do for them, because they're going to need you too. And so, you know, this almost looks like a friends with benefits situation, and I think you're saying, you know, this really wasn't what I wanted. And that's fine, but I would say just move on from that. And when you meet the next person and you feel like you do want a real relationship, you know, get clear about what that looks like for you. Visualize those things. Visualize the man of your dreams just giving you everything you were looking for, what you had hoped for. So, this is the end of the reading. My Instagram is sketchwriterjess and my blog is sketchwriterjess.com. If you like this video, please like. If you want to see more of these, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.